All right, chat, chat, chat. What's going on? Checking in, checking in. This is for Miss Talia and everybody else ahead of her who want to learn how to use my strategy, which is ICC and supply and demand put together. So teach you how to set it up and find your key zones. Now, all you want to do, time frames you want to use, daily time frame. So we got daily. You got your daily time frame. You got your 4 hour. You got your 1 hour. You got your 30. You got your 15. All right. These are the time frames you want to use. These are the time frames you want to use. If y'all need that, take a screenshot. Remember that. Write it down. I recommend doing that now. Yeah, like 5 seconds. One, two, three, four, five. All right. Now we got our time frames down. First time frame you want to start off is with your daily. You want to find your trend bias. So you want to see where the market is going. So you want to do more currently. So as right now, we see market is currently going back into buys. So you see the market was in buys, sold off, now it's buying up again. I'll tell you why it's buying up again. Now, on your daily time frame, you can mark off key zones as well. On your 4 hour time frame, you can do the same thing. But sometimes the 4 hour and the daily key zones are really about the same shit. So on your daily time frame, you can mark off a daily support for this chart. When you're marking off where the candles meet at least twice or 3 times. Sometimes it'd be three, but most of the time it should be twice. So this is twice. Price came back down and touched this low twice, or it made this low once. Came back down and touched this low, which is now a daily green zone, which is for buys. You trading long, looking for long trades. That is your buy zone. Price came back down and touched this low. Showed, hey, we don't want to go and break this low. We want to continue going above and buying back up. So this is your demand zone, buy zone, or your long zone, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Now, since we know that we're in buys, what you want to look for is your resistance zones. Now, see, when you're marking off your resistance zones, you could mark on the daily and the 4 hour. Like do the same shit. So the next high, the most recent high, left to right when you marking off your zones. This is a daily key zone. This will also play in as a 4 hour key zone as well, since we're going into the next day. This is a 4 hour key zone as well. So price touched here, it broke, and it turned into a resistance. So now that we got our daily zone marked off, our restricted zone, and our daily demand zone, we can also mark off this extra zone up here. This will be another resistance zone, very top. That's a resistance zone as well. So now you got 3 zones. Nothing too crazy on your chart. Chart don't look crazy and dumb stupid. So now we got our daily zones. These are key zones. You're just marking off highs and lows. Price came up, hit this zone. This is the buy zone. Price don't want to break above this just yet because we didn't get to there yet, and we're just not reversing. So you can target these when you're looking for buys. You can target these zones for buys. So now we drop to the 4 hour. So you can see price is showing you got 2 zones to trade off of. Now when you go into your 4 hour, you want to go to more current. So now we got a zone, we got a low here, higher low, we got support zones being made. So we don't got to we gotta make a support zone here. But we got a support zone here. It ain't gotta be big and nothing. Just make a support zone. So we know we're in buys, we know we're looking for support zones. Let's see here. This is also high. This high right here will be a support zone as well. Not too crazy. Probably made this a little bit bigger. That's a support zone as well. So price selling off just a tad bit. Once we make it high, so we're gonna see what it's do. We drop to the 1 hour. Got a support. Kind of more currently. Got a consolidation up here. But like price from the retrace and going to sales. It's also a demand zone. Price don't want to break below here and never close below here. It's steady making higher lows. When you looking, when you're looking to see what you in, once you identify the trend, off rip, you should be looking for wherever the trend giving off. So if you're in buys, you should be looking for constant supports being made. Price getting retested, going up, come back down. Like here, price came back down, retested, took off. Should be the same shit. Price came back down, retested, took off. The market is like staircases. Please remember that. The market is like a staircase. Price always gonna come back down to the original point it had made. So the original low it made or the high it made, is price is gonna originally come back to that point. So we got demand zone here. Price steady making higher lows. I know we're going to survive. So now if you're looking for entries, you can either get a 30-minute confirmation. Sometimes a 15. I don't really use the 15 like that. It's either a 30-minute or an hour if you're looking for your entries on. Me personally, I like that 30-minute. So I can tell. That 30-minute gonna let me know everything I need to know. 30-minute entries are perfect. So when you're marking off your zones and you're in buys, you're looking for higher lows being made. Watch how prices shift. You'll know if price making higher lows here. There you go, your higher low right there. Let you in. That's an indication saying, hey, we want to continue going up. Price made a higher low from here. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay. Get rid of that. Now for sales, it's the same concept. Sales is the same damn concept. So let's say price was here. Actually, let's find another chart that's actually in sales so it can look better. Real quick, I think GBP in sales right now. All right. Same shit. If you're in sales, yep. GBP is actually in buys. So we'll use this for an example. Actually, no. We'll use this for an example. So price it was in sales. Go to your daily. Oh damn, I didn't know I had shit on there. Prices and prices are really not in either way, but we're gonna use this one right here. So prices in sales at one point. What you'll do is mark off a resistance up here. Your daily resistance. That here's your resistance zone. More current price is still technically in sales. The daily low is down here. Can mark that off. The candles touch multiple times here. This is demand zone. So price touch multiple times here. That's your demand zone. We are this trend right now. It's looking like buy since we didn't break this low, this lower low here. It constantly is still making higher lows, and we got equal lows going back into some buys. If you're looking, price is restricting, it's selling off. When you selling, price gonna constantly make liquidity zones for restricted zones. So we're gonna use this. That's kind of choppy. We gotta use here. So price also restricting here. There's also a restriction zone. We'll mark this off as well. Not too big. Mark that off. Make this red. This is not a restriction zone. But since we're looking at when price was selling. So when price is selling, you draw down to the 4 hour. You want to see constant. You want to see the lows either get touched. See, when you're marking off, you want to mark off the lows. So this here, this zone here could have been one. This zone right here. So your lower lows, this here. This is on. Like I said, the market's like a staircase. Price came out, came here, retested here, sold off. Okay. So when you trade in supply and demand really work when price is in a zone, like a consolidation zone. So I'm gonna show you a good example of that. That is actually on JPY. So USD JPY. So we're gonna go back to that real quick. Let me show you a good example of consolidation. So here, right here, use on the 4 hour zone. This whole box area, this whole area is a supply and demand zone. Okay, when price consolidating is not really breaking out to either side, that's just supply and demand zone. That's where you can pull multiple profits from. So you're same shit. This time I dropped to the 4 hour time frame so you can see the consolidation, or the 1 hour so you can see it. You'll mark off this zone. This is a zone for consolidation that's restricted. And then I got my buy zone. Price don't want to break below here. Could be eating off this. This is a supply and demand zone. Price constantly going up to restricted and then come back down to the buys. It's not breaking out to either side. You could have caught a lot of profits in this zone. Now, when price break out, that's when you'll switch it to ICC. So you'll wait for a break and retest. So I do this one here. Price breaks above, comes back down to retest, and then it continues. That's how you catch an ICC play. Price breaking above, either restricted, the previous restriction zone, which is the 4 hour zone, breaks above that 4 hour zone, comes back down to retest it, and then continues. So that restriction zone is now a support zone or your buy zone once price break above that. Same thing for your sales. Price, I can use this for an example. Price broke below, made it low, retested the zone, sold back down again. This is a daily zone though, so we know it's buys, but it's just for a good example. So price broke, it made a low, retested, sold off again, back into that daily zone. That's just an example. So break, so indication, your indication of the break, correction, the retest, continuation is your entry. All you're waiting for is a rejection candle off that zone, and you can go into either which way you feel like trading. But that's literally it, chat. Supply and demand, you mostly trading that shit with the consolidation. If you can catch some good plays with that, that's your supply and demand. And your ICC is break and retest. Then for a continuation. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. And when it comes to setting up key zones, you want to get your daily and the 4 hour key zones. And after that, you want to go to the 1 hour or you can stay on the 4 hour to find your support zones for either way, which way you're going. So support or your resistance zones that you can use to hop into the trade. Okay? You want to catch small pips. That's really it. That's all you got to do. If you need help, DM me, shoot me a DM, and I'll try to help you as much as I can. Okay? Other than that, that's it. Hope y'all had a good day. Good luck trading. Let's make some money.